Okay, it's beer o'clock again on the Beer Ale Guide. Today's beer is a beer from the Bristol Beer Factory, and it's a bottle of their Imperial Stout, aged in Glenlivet Casks. 10.7% ABV, this one. There you go. Great looking labels on the beer. Great company, the Bristol Beer Factory. Had some wonderful beers from them. Mrs. Real Ale Guide went and reviewed this before me today, so it's about time. I normally review the beer first. She gets the leftovers. Today I got the leftovers, but there's quite a lot of beer in here. So what do we get? You're not going to expect much of a head for a 10.7% ABV beer. It's off-white, a little bit of a tan colour going on, but it's black. It's a pitch black beer, no light coming in there whatsoever. The conditioning is wonderful on the side of the glass there. I want to rock it round, chuck the beer back and forth, because you can see them slow bubbles rising up the side of the glass. It looks thick, it looks creamy, it looks a bit like their Ultimate Stout. Let's get into this one. Let's get a nose. I've just done their peat 9.5. What I'd like to do is do the lower ABVs first. So that the peat beer, the Glenlivet Whisky Cask, was 9.5%. It was peated, so it was very, very big on the nose. This one's 10.7. So it's a bigger ABV, so I've left it till last. So I'm getting that creaminess, I'm getting that chocolate, roasted malt, bit of whiskey, and a bit of oak. So let's dive into this one. Cheers everyone! Oh, now this one's a bit of a beast. Oh yes, this one's a bit of a beast. I mentioned earlier on that it was important in the Glenlivet review that the beer has to come first and the whiskey second. It's still a beer first. There's more of a prominent whiskey taste to this beer, and it's a warmer. It's a real warmer. As soon as the beer started sliding down into my stomach, it was warming me from the inside out. It's really giving me a nice warming sensation in my stomach, and I absolutely love that in a beer. It's getting dark outside, Sunday afternoon, it's raining, it's cold. What more would you want on a day like today than a nice Imperial Stout to warm the old, warm the cockles? A lot of oak, quite a bit of the Glenlivet whiskey. Kind of pulls at the back of your palate. Kind of makes you want to kind of close your lips together. It's that kind of sensation you get on the back of your throat there. There's a lot of hints of chocolate in this beer. Roasted malt, caramel, coffee, licorice. There's even a very small vinous kind of taste to this beer, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's been aging, I think it's been aging for 6 months. Yeah, it's been aging in 6 months in Glenlivet casks. I believe the base beer to this, I believe it to be their Ultimate Stout, which is a blinding beer in its own sense. So they've sat, obviously they've had a meeting and they've gone, right, we've got this really good Ultimate Stout. We've called it Ultimate Stout because we believe it's probably the best, or the Ultimate Stout you ever want to try. That's why they called it, and it is an amazing beer. I think I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I think I did. what you get then is that they've gone, right, let's put it in whiskey cask, Glenlivet Whisky Casks for 6 months, seal it, see what happens, and this is the result. The result is all of the great qualities of a Russian Imperial Stout, the ultimate stout, mixed with whiskey, peat, oak, little bits of, say now, not peat, I made a mistake, not peat. Whiskey, Russian Imperial Stout, oak barrels, and just like I say, bits of licorice. Hints of caramel, and it's vinous, it's strangely vinous with the whiskey, which is great in itself. I mentioned the word peat. That was I've done a back-to-back review. I've just done a Lafrague, which was a peated whiskey stout. So I apologise for putting the word peated whiskey in there, because it's not in this beer. Mouthfeel is amazing, amazing mouthfeel. It's rich, it's creamy, it's luxurious, and yeah, I'm loving it. Let me read out the back of the bottle for you. This Imperial Stout has spent 6 months aging in oak, taking on the famous characteristics of Glenlivet whiskey. The stout's rich, smooth, roasty flavours combine with a whiskey character to produce a complex beer laid with big flavours. Enjoy as an after dinner treat or as an accompaniment to full flavoured cheeses. I would do that. I was tempted to get a bit of cheese out for this review, but I didn't, because I'll have my head chopped off, because my wife's cooking a roast dinner, and you know, if I start eating food before the roast dinner, it's not good. It's not good. I shouldn't even be in the kitchen, really. Final thoughts and rating from me then for the Glenlivet aged Russian Imperial Stout from Bristol Beer Factory. This is probably in my top 3 Russian Imperial Stouts. This is an immense beer. I give the peated beer an 8.5 out of 10. The Imperial Stout with peated whiskey, Lafrague, I give it an 8.5. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. Reason being, because there's a battle going on. There's a battle of what I think is the ultimate stout, which I give a 10 out of 10. And the whiskey. And they clash, bang, in the middle. And for whatever reason, they've clashed and they've come up with these licorice, caramel, vinous flavours, which makes it an immense treat of a beer. So a 10 out of 10 for me, the Real Ale Guide. Thank you guys, or thank you to Chris, my friend Chris Latey, who has brought me this beer, Real Ale 140. Done a bit of dog sitting for him, and in return he's brought me some nice beer. I'm going to go away now and enjoy these 2 beers. Bit dangerous on a Sunday afternoon, but I am the Real Ale Guide. Thanks for watching me. Put your comments in the comments box, subscribe if you like, and cheers.